Hello, my name is Ted Travis, and like many of you, I've been asked to say and share a few moments with you about memories I have about Denny, and pretty challenging how to just narrow almost a lifetime of friendship into a few minutes. But I'll try. And for me, thinking about this, there's really no better place for me to start than at the beginning. I was hired in 1973 by a company in New York, based in New York, called Bacanta, and I was part of that small fraternity of look technicians, tech reps, if you will, and Dennis was certainly part of that look contingent. And in fact, I've got a fond memento. I think maybe some of you out there have one of these as well. If you can't tell, it's a gold look Nevada toe that was given to us by the owners of the Look factory at the time, and it was a commemorative piece made in remembrance or to celebrate Jean-Claude Keely's gold medals during his Olympic victory run. In any event, as I said, for me the best place for me to start, and I think share this with you, you'll get a kick out of it. I believe it was the very first time I met Dennis. If not, it was certainly maybe the second, third at the most. But it was 1974, maybe 75, and Bacanta was holding a sales meeting in their New York offices. And this always was, these meetings were always mandatory. You couldn't be late, you couldn't show up or not show up, you'd be in deep weeds. And as sure enough as luck would have it, it was either the night of or the day before Dennis was to leave to get on a flight back to New York. And Tahoe was just inundated with a major snowstorm, blizzard, what have you. But from what I remember, there was no getting in and getting out of Truckee at the time. It was absolutely socked in. So, you know, pretty tough to, you know, come up with an excuse why you can't be at that meeting. Well, we just assumed Dennis might be an exception. Well, it was late in the day, the first day of the meeting, and in walks Dennis, and he's standing in our lobby, and Dennis has on his back a big russet or a big backpack and a big grin on his face, and he's arrived. He made the meeting. Well, we're all shocked. We really weren't thinking there was any way he was going to be able to get out of Truckee. Well, of course, he told his story, and between gathering his snowshoes and his cross-country gear, he made his way out of Truckee all the way down to the Reno airport. And if any of you are familiar with the Truckee area and its relation to the Reno airport, you know that's no easy task. Based on the terrain, the miles involved, and just the physical exertion that it must have taken to accomplish that. Well, it just goes to show you how dedicated Denny was. He actually probably enjoyed himself trying to make it from Truckee to Reno that day. But anyway, that is typical Dennis, his drive, his determination, not wanting to feel left out, and we really got a kick out of that. I know I was pretty impressed by that accomplishment. And if I can share with you quickly one other story. It's personal to me. My first time ever skiing Park City, again, was during a company sales meeting. And there was a group of us all skiing together in the afternoon, which we had time to free ski. And sure enough, we decided to make a trip to Jupiter Bowl as the last run of the day. Well, I had never skied Jupiter Bowl, and I don't consider myself a particularly accomplished skier, but there was a group of us, maybe 6 or 7 or so in the group, and we skied back to Jupiter Bowl, and I'm the last to arrive, my friend. This is Butch, by the way. I'm the last to arrive in the group, and by the time I get there, most everyone had pushed off the top of the ridge and started down into Jupiter Bowl. Well, not wanting to be left behind, there I go. I try to play catch up and I take off. Well, sure enough, 4 or 5 runs later, I'm doing a header. I just bought some real estate big time. And by the time I gathered myself and brushed myself off, I'm covered with snow all down my parka, lost my hat, my goggles are all cattywampus on my head and full of snow. And by the time I made it back up to locate my skis, and it was almost like bottomless powder, by the time I could clean the top of the skis off to get my boots into the bindings, I was pretty exhausted. I was rattled. I was cold. I was tired at the end of the day. And everyone else had skied down and got on the Jupiter Bowl lift. And if you recall, those of you that have skied there, you have to take a lift out of Jupiter Bowl to take the rest of the lifts to get down to the bottom of Park City. And that lift closed earlier than the other lifts, just based on making sure everyone got out of there safely. Well, I remember as I'm gathering myself, I could hear Denys yell over to the lift operator, "Don't shut this sucker down, because there's one clown who's still stuck up here on the mountain." And of course that was me. Well, by the time I gathered myself and make it down and join up with Denny, and only one that stayed behind, he's having a good laugh, and I'm having a laugh on myself as well. And I got to tell you, I was pretty embarrassed and feeling about that big, the only one to have fallen like that. But Denys, you know, made me feel comfortable. He made me feel at ease. If anything, he should have been in front of everyone, which he easily could have been, getting back on that chairlift to leave the area. But he stayed behind, and I'm grateful for that. He made me humble, got a good laugh out of each other, and that's the kind of guy Denny was. He was good-natured, always a smile, a helping, friendly hand. He thought of others more times than he thought of himself. And I just know his love and dedication of his work, his family, of the sport of skiing in particular, and he'll be dearly missed. And allow me to say, a bientôt, Denny, my friend. Au revoir. And I'm confident someday our trails shall pass. Thank you for listening.